Cursed by the old gods in Bethany, we are 5 immortals doomed to walk the earth until we complete our 1001 tasks. After centuries of dicking around, we are ready to complete our destiny and die. We are, for now, the Immortals. This is episode 13.
Yes!
Whoa, that's a cursed number.
It's another twin prime. It's not a cursed number.
Yes, it is.
I like 13. It's a great number.
Just
Actually, I think
like
Brazil is a
mean
lucky
it's not
number.
Cursed.
I mean, we're already really, really cursed. So I don't think
That's fair. That's fair.
But I just feel that bad things are going to happen within this episode, though.
Do you feel
December
that
13th.
way?
I have a vibe. It's going to happen.
Nothing bad can happen. Tomorrow's Groundhog's Day.
This comes out on Thursday.
Yesterday was Groundhog's Day.
2 days ago
Yesterday
was Groundhog's Day.
2 days ago.
2 days ago was Groundhog's Day.
You guys saw that he saw his shadow, right?
Jesus Christ. This is what I was talking
The
about.
future.
By the way, my name is Austin.
I'm Adam.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Lee.
I'm Pedro.
And together we are the Immortals. Every week we review one of the 1001 albums, children's books, movies, TV shows, songs, and TV shows. I said TV shows. Food.
Food.
I should have done it in the right order.
Yeah.
There's 6 of them.
Not a great start.
Every week we are assigned a number, a random number given to us, and we pick that entry from all of them. This week we are reviewing the 974th entry for all of these topics, and the movie is going to be Black Swan.
The album is Whatever People Say I Am, That's What I'm Not by Arctic Monkeys.
The food is Membrillo.
The song is My People by The Presets.
The children's book is Across the Nightingale Floor by... Leon Hearn.
It is vertically put on the cover.
The
so-
author is hidden on here.
And the TV show is Gotham. And before we can get into the reviews, we always, with every review, we end it by giving it a hinge rating.
Hinge
where
fact.
we give it out of 0 to 5 hinges because we're old, and that's, I don't know, relevant.
Hinges are cool.
Hinges are cool.
And everyone thinks the hinges are cool.
I stole a little, I chipped off a little piece of a hinge.
Well, that's too bad.
Just a hinge or a Stonehenge?
Stonehenge, yeah.
Oh, the actual Stonehenge.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
I drilled a bunch of holes around it.
That's what they don't let you close to anymore.
That's what?
They don't let you close to it.
Yeah. It's kind of one of the only cases where a rock has a restraining order against a person. It
not a
was
thing.
a very interesting court case.
Except for, of
A
course,
lawyer.
the rock.
It's not a real thing. It's not true.
This was old-timey things. OLDE.
But then, yeah. Well,
Oldie time things.
Yeah.
the henge fact today is that, according to legend, the henge fact is in fact a henge myth today. Well, maybe it is. Who knows?
We're already out of facts.
Which is that Merlin, according to myth, brought the henges, brought Stonehenge to England, and I will continue to tell the myth of Stonehenge over the next couple weeks in my henge facts.
He
So,
brought Stonehenge. Like, he picked it up, and
You'll find out more next week. Stay
Okay.
tuned.
I'm excited.
don't worry, Pedro, we could definitely hear whatever you're eating right now.
Yeah, like real loud.
That was me. I'm putting a cough drop in my mouth.
Ha!
We just assumed it was Pedro.
This is
Does
decent
that make us
guess.
bad people?
Yes.
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Alright, let's review stuff.
Alright, so now we have that inaccurate hinge fact. We are ready to go straight into the movie.
Yeah.
This is, 13 episodes. This is our most recent film. We're
True.
number 2 is 974. We're in the film Black Swan, which came out in 2010, directed by Darren Aronofsky. It won Best Actress Oscar for Natalie Portman.
Oh, she did win.
She
Yeah.
did win. She plays a ballerina who's been working for quite a long time, and she is trying desperately to get this major role in Swan Lake. And she knows she's good enough to be the white swan, but is she good enough to portray the black swan?
Not is she good enough. Does she have the right stuff?
Like, is she... Yeah, I mean, it's not really about quality, it's about artistic
Quality?
expression.
She was technically the most
No,
perfect
right, like, exactly.
answer lady.
It's, like, yeah.
Does she have, what would that French actor say? The intensity, or
The
whatever.
something, the...
Very French.
The
And
balls.
as she tries to perfect this role, she's also descending into madness.
Yay.
So, this is the most recent film. I typically ask, who hasn't seen this before. Has anyone
I hadn't.
seen this before?
I hadn't.
All right, then how about Pedro? You go first.
I hadn't seen this, and I didn't really feel like watching it when it came out. Kind of sad that I didn't, because I actually liked this movie quite a bit. I almost sort of descended into madness with her. It was a fun little ride. She was incredible in it, which kind of makes sense now in retrospect, hearing that she won Best Actress. I'm wanting to know if she was a dancer or how much preparation she made for this role. Or how much of that was actually her versus maybe a double.
She took classes and such.
There was definitely a double
Beforehand.
used.
For the actual scene.
Quite a bit, I believe. And there's actually some controversy around not giving the double enough credit.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That was actually, it was a whole thing for a while. It didn't really fully get settled. But to me, the real crux of the performance isn't the physical element, but just really how incredibly Portman portrays all elements of this character.
Yeah.
So she deserves the Oscar in my
shit.
mind.
Yeah. She also, even out of the scenes on the stage, though, she moves like a ballerina. Like, there's just something about the way that she stands up and sits down and just, like, exists that is the way ballerinas are.
Very poised all the
I
time.
definitely got that. Well, she was Queen Amidala. I mean, come on. Very, very royal-like.
Sure, we'll go with it.
I mean, yeah, she did lots of ballet in the Star Wars prequels.
In their own way. In its own way. But, yeah, no, I really enjoyed watching it, following along while she went crazy. I liked her nemesis, I suppose. What was her name?
It's played by Mila Kunis.
That's her. The French guy was really fun. He was so French. He was such an asshole. Such a French asshole. I loved it. And yeah, the look of the movie was really, 'cause I mean, you know, this is ballet. It's supposed to be really fluffy and tutu-y and pink. It was not. It was very, there were a lot of black and whites and grays, and it made me like, what? I don't know how to explain it, but fun stuff.
We'll get back to an element to that in a second. But Adam,
More will come.
Adam, what do you think of this?
I have seen this before, and I liked it more than I thought I did. The second time was better. There were definitely some like issues with the script. I thought it like just like she started getting crazy way too early. Like she was already crazy, I think, and that was I don't know. Just
I feel like that was the point, right? Because she was the hardest working or whatever.
yeah,
And she would always practice to death, and then
Well, she did have, like, anxiety problems beforehand. Like, that's briefly
I'm sure
addressed
they
in the
all
beginning.
do.
No,
Yeah,
but she's like there's a strong illusion that she like this the whole one of the creepiest motifs I find is the scratch on her back,
yeah.
and that's apparent like that's a self-inflicted injury originally that she had scratched her skin raw,
And, like,
which
that's
is-
why her mom was cutting her fingernails.
Yeah.
yeah, which is pretty. That's a pretty serious sign of anxiety.
Yeah.
It said that she was the oldest ballerina of the bunch, didn't it? I thought I remember hearing that thrown out.
She was one of the oldest, and that's why she's very worried about
Yeah.
losing
like-
her chance to be a star. And
Right.
you have another
Exactly.
character as a
She did-
plot, Winona Ryder, who is someone who is kind of
yeah.
aged out of the chance to be a prime ballerina.
Right?
Was she the mom?
No, she's
No, she was the dance lady. And
Yeah,
stuff?
at the very beginning, she's in it a lot, and then she's in the hospital in one of the like weird sequences with Natalie Portman.
And the casting of Winona Ryder is perfect because
Oh, gosh, yeah.
that's an incredible actress who's still incredible. She was in a wonderful miniseries last year called "Show Me a Hero," but because of Hollywood's awful, use of ageism, she just hasn't been a leading lady in at least over a decade.
She also stole a lot of clothes from Neiman Marcus. That was a real thing that happened with Winona Ryder. Remember that?
Yeah.
yeah.
But other actors have done worse things.
I suppose it was a lot of clothes.
Yes.
Whatever.
It wasn't all at once. It was gradual over time.
I
blah, blah,
suppose
blah.
I suppose that's true.
She didn't just fill up a
Yeah,
shopping
you got a
cart and
discount
walk out.
via
Yeah.
present value.
So
So Sarah.
So I actually really liked this movie. I will say, in spite of the fact that I was watching it with someone who, like, I don't know. I mean, I liked it a lot. Yeah, I enjoyed the interplay between the mother and Natalie Portman's character the most. The idea that this is that all of those interactions make clear that almost nothing that's happening in the movie is actually the cause of her mental breakdown. I think it's so much a movie about, admittedly, kind of a cliche relationship, but I think one that is painted extremely well, of the very controlling mother and the perfectionist daughter, and all of its attendant. Every scene with them, even their fights, are tinged with this sense that somewhere in their history, it has been worse than right now. That they are playing nice, but that there has been some dark past something. There's this scene right at the beginning where her mother gets her a birthday cake and she says just I'm not hungry, or I'm trying to keep the weight off, something basic, and her mother just grabs it and goes, well, it's ruined then, and tries to throw it away, and you're okay, we're in an issue. So yeah, I thought it was great. I loved a lot of it. I think Natalie Portman's performance was awesome, but I was more interested in the way it was looking at her mental illness and where it came from and what it really was. Which really, none of the pressure being put on her in the studio seems to be what it's really about at all.
Lee, what do you think?
I'm not a fan of this movie, but I'm not an Aronofsky fan, so I feel like if you are into film and you are a fan of Aronofsky, you're gonna love this movie.
I'm the director.
Yeah, I'm not. So I don't know, this whole movie put me on edge and made me uncomfortable, and the reason why I love watching movies is because they're fun and they're an escape and blah blah blah, all those cliche things, and this was not an escape, and this felt like torture to me because I'm a highly anxious person, so lots of the things that happen to Natalie Portman's character in this movie have happened to me in real life, and that is not fun.
Whoa.
Yeah, when you're watching it on screen, it's oh yeah, I remember that one time that I did something very similar, so...
Tried to get the part for Swan Lake?
Yeah, because I used to be a prima ballerina. Don't know if you knew this or not.
No way.
Wait, for real?
No. Oh. I trip over my own 2 feet on a regular basis.
I don't know, it's possible.
Got a long time to...
I have a dark past as a singer. The world is a strange place.
Lee, don't worry about it, because...
You don't like it either?
I hate this movie.
Oh my god, he hates this movie so much. It was the worst to watch it with him. He nitpicked every single solitary little thing, and I liked it just fine.
I hate this movie.
Now you know how I feel with Gotham. We'll get to that.
Oh my god, you're alone on that one, dude.
So this is our 13th episode. This is the first time I don't like the film. And this is, in fact, I've seen already most of the list, and I do like vast majority of the films on the list. I hate this movie. I've seen it twice now. It was worse this time. It gets so many things wrong about how it's trying to tell its story to me. It uses... I'm always fine with it when a film or a show uses archetypes, and this one I think just completely failed in it because it's going for the kind of realism look where it kind of has the handheld filmic look of New York City, but then it uses that in the dumbest possible ways. Pedro mentioned the whites and blacks. The visual metaphors of White Swan and Black Swan are so beating you over the head the entire movie. It's just... It's empty. There's nothing going on, and it's awful. I hate this movie so much.
It's not empty. That's what she feels. To her, it's just always there, and they're trying to beat it into your head as much as it is into hers.
Well,
it's trying to make you go insane as well.
Exactly.
Because it's just always she wears white, she wears black. She wears white. Now she's putting on a black shirt, but then she put a white shirt over that. And I took the white shirt. It's just
I just took that as regular garb.
I don't think... No. I wouldn't say that they beat you over the head with that, though. She just put on a different shirt.
But you have Mila Kunis, who is representative of all the elements of the Black Swan.
Mm-hmm. She was always wearing black. I guess that's true.
She's always wearing black, and then before...
But black is her color. She looks good in black.
That's what yes. But then you have Natalie Portman's character, who is all about... She inhabits every element of the White Swan, and they say this in dialogue all the fucking time. And
that they do beat you over the head.
Yeah, the dialogue is...
Sure.
The dialogue has
You're
no
so
subtext.
perfect and pure and pretty.
Well, she is perfect and pure and pretty.
Ugh.
But
Pedro's-
no, the whole. But no. Here's my problem with your critique is that I think that you are not giving the movie enough credit that it is talking on two levels. So everything I said that what the movie says it's about is not what it's really about. I stand by. The movie is about how she almost we know from the beginning maybe about the halfway point in the movie that Nina's view of the world, what she's seeing, probably isn't quite on. There's definitely at least a couple hints of delusions and weirdness pretty early on.
It's very early on.
And I read that hit you over the head metaphor as in part a reflection of her own paranoia. That what she's doing is, it's not actually, this comes out a little bit at the end, it's not that Mila Kunis' character, whose name is escaping me right now, is actually the Black Swan. It's that Nina is getting caught in this whole web where she's basically spiraling the drain, and everything that she sees is consumed by this project that she has, and is exacerbating her latent problems all the way to the end. And so I saw it as more that as the movie goes on, and in fact those black and white motifs just actually get more and more prevalent. It's not, I'm not even sure that we're supposed to believe nearly anything we're watching by the end of the movie.
That's what I thought.
And I think it's more about, it's about, the film has an unreliable narrator, an unreliable,
sure.
And so I saw that as really cool. That they're doing this this very basic thing that almost becomes like a paranoia. Everything is in black and white. Everything is one or the other, and she can't possibly do anything else. And she's stuck, and then she goes off the deep end.
But it's there so early on as well, and I totally understand the idea. And
it's always her mental illness.
But to have the film be entirely from her point of view, and we recognize things that aren't to be trusted. But the problem is how much the film doesn't trust the audience with that information, because there are so many kind of creepy images in this film. She'll walk past a mirror, and the mirror image is actually a half a beat off. And
It's super creepy.
It's a great image if there wasn't a crazy score that was so fucking loud.
I am kind of with you there.
So early on in movies, whenever there actually is a creepy image or a moment where the film goes, "This isn't real," they enhance it by just beating you over the head with the loudest music. On one hand, that works really well. I think at the end, we're going to talk around a few things, but at the end, when you're truly inside the play and it's going on, the use of the music and the crazy imagery and her paranoid schizophrenia, that all, I think, works together very beautifully. I think that's the only thing that really works for me is Aronofsky just kind of blending it all together in beautiful, fluid motions. But early on, everything that's supposed to be in at least a sort of version of New York, it just seems so inconsistent. And there's certain elements you just can't forgive with that perspective, because I think, even though I know Pedro adores him, the teacher, I think, is an embarrassingly bad character. He's
not great.
Terrible.
He's
he's
horribly
awesome.
written. He's horribly every line dialogue he has, everything he's doing is just cliche after cliche. That's a great actor doing it, but the actor also is just very happy to fuck around and be as hammy as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's embarrassing. I think Mila Kunis' character is equally as cliche and embarrassing.
Oh my god, yes.
I hate this movie.
No,
He's exactly what I would imagine that kind of person in that world to be, though.
But someone who's not been in that world, so it's kind of the
exactly.
the cliche
Most people
I don't
have not
know.
been in that world.
I don't know though.
Oh.
You'd be surprised within the arts. Some of you would be. Some of you are involved in the arts. Some stereotypes ring remarkably true. Those people definitely do exist.
No, they do, but they are a person. This guy was never a person. He was a representation of people who were like that.
No,
this guy was ridiculous.
Here's what I'll give you. Everything in the story that this movie is telling has been told 1,000 times before. And its characters are, I agree with you, are a set of archetypes. I mean, the mother-daughter relationship, for example, it's almost, you know what you're talking about as soon as you figure it out. And I agree with you about Mila Kunis, but it tells that story incredibly well. In its way, it is as much Oscar bait and safe as any high budget, well cast, sort of artsy but never too disturbing movie. And it is all of that. But I think it does what it's trying to do very, very well. I just think that it thinks it's a little bit more original than it actually is.
Yes.
It's definitely,
Yeah,
it is a story
like
about perfectionism and mommy complexes and the different, and light and dark and what you do when you're, and people going crazy. It's about those things. Those are very well tracked ground. But nonetheless, I found it exciting. The creepy moments are genuinely terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
The Natalie Portman's performance is consistently excellent.
She is wonderful. I have nothing against her.
And I would definitely recommend
Except
it
for
to
the
people.
entire movie, she was in that won her best picture.
Well, see,
or best actress.
I have lots of other opinions just about Natalie Portman, but that's for a different podcast.
As a
about
person,
the person?
Yeah. Her as an actress, I have strong opinions about it.
I think this is far and away her best performance. I don't like.
Oh, yeah.
The second one is Leon the Professional, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
No,
Don't
the
say
professional.
I just said
literally
Leon the
just
Professional.
Oh, is that what you just
Yeah,
said?
Leon, the Professional.
Is that the whole title?
That's the whole
I
title,
thought it was
yeah.
just professional.
Oh, The Professional is the American version, but most people accept the UK and the European release as Leon the Professional.
Ah.
Adam, you haven't talked enough.
Yeah, I want to argue that
You
you were saying that the French guy was kind of cliche, but I think Natalie Portman was in every single scene.
this is
I believe
true.
so, yeah.
So
Yeah, you're right.
she's the narrator, and so she is just seeing these. We're seeing these people through her eyes.
Mhm.
So if she only sees this, the instructor side of him, that's all that we're gonna see. And so, you only see that one side of a person.
Yeah.
So like what Sarah was saying, you work with people in the arts, and they are a stereotype, but then they give you a ride home, and they
Right.
talk about. You see they're inside their car and
Sure.
stuff like that.
For
But if
sure.
you don't get that, then it's just that. And so I think that Aronofsky might have been I think you can kind of forgive him for that because it's from the view of Nina.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm kind of a starstruck person a lot of times. I know, weird. We've been around for so long.
Met lots of stars.
Yeah, I met Tchaikovsky, but I don't know how I would react if I were in Natalie Portman's shoes and then the big superstar playboy ballet producer guy comes in. Just that would freak me the hell out. And if the story continued as it did in the movie, I would just... things would be weird. Things would be very weird.
Well, I guess to me it's strange because I totally understand what you guys are saying. I think it's a really interesting. Both of you are pointing to Adam and Sarah right now. It's an audio podcast. The unreliable narrator does add a really interesting element to it, but I still think I think the reason why I didn't embrace the stereotypes in the way I do other things, I was just earlier today praising the show Gallivant, which I adore, and that really is just the archetypes and stereotypes on display, add a little more depth and then way more silliness. Because that show has a very consistent tone of what the world is. This movie, when it goes for the enhanced elements, I really like it, except for early on when the scores beat me over the head.
What do you mean the enhanced elements?
When there are supernatural things on screen,
Okay.
when you obviously know things are not real. Undeniably, this is not happening. And narratively, it says that. But then also, during these moments, I guess it could be watching a Descent, but it's very strange when the scenes that are filmed in a very realism-like format are still having the negative things that I'm talking about, that you guys are saying aren't real, I guess.
But
They're filming early interactions with him with a handheld camera that looks very, very grainy, and it's a mixture that doesn't work for me, I guess. Does that make sense?
yeah, I think what I'd say is the more I thought about it, the more I realized that more of the scenes than I had realized when I was watching the movie were from Nina's perspective. Like, that really the whole movie, almost. I'm trying to think if there actually is a single scene not seen from her perspective. I don't think there is.
Think so.
I guess when I finished it, I was sort of feeling like I wanted some sort of, like, not reveal, but something to show that suspicion that you sort of have is true. But then again, I realized I was also kind of happy for that not to be the way they did it, because they definitely could have had a scene where suddenly sort of the craziness stops for whatever reason, and you sort of start to see everything for what it is. But I was actually happy to have it left on this sort of eerie note.
No, I like how they, especially for that last scene.
Oh my god, the
I was
last
sitting there
scene
on the edge of my seat. I'm like, what is happening? What is real? What isn't?
That's
The handheld stuff for the obviously fake stuff. That was pretty good for me because I was drinking fairly heavily watching this, and it just added to the madness.
I did have one moment in that last sequence where I was thinking about how the audience in the theater watching this was. They were just like, "Oh, this is really great," but they knew nothing else about it,
right?
And they couldn't quite see her specific reactions, her facial reactions. I mean, and
ever make you wonder if some great performance you've seen is actually the slow destruction of another human being on stage?
Yes.
I think you can cut the last 20 minutes of the film into a short film I would really like.
The it ends strong.
Built about clearly that was the sequence he was focused the most on. Mm-hmm. It's also very strange that there's so many thematic elements that are very similar to his last film, The Wrestler, which is about
I hadn't seen that.
A man which a film also don't like very much except for the lead performance, but it's a man who is so broken in his personal life, but he just physically pushes himself towards what that matters to him, which is being a professional wrestler, and he starts to become physically worse and worse, but he's willing to... He'd rather die in the ring than die in real life.
Sounds very familiar.
It sounds very familiar, yes. So it's very weird. These are back-to-back films. Both films I go, you got the right idea, but just cliches to get there.
If this movie had been called The Ballerina,
well then,
the ballerina and then the wrestling.
I'm not a huge Aronofsky. I like two of his films. I like Requiem and The Fountain quite a bit.
Ooh, those are his?
Yeah.
Those are great.
I like those films quite a bit. I think those get more consistent tones. I feel that I've hogged too much of this review, so let's get some last thoughts across the board.
Oh, well, I had one other thing to say, which is that, and I'm really interested because I have this vague feeling that Lee might disagree with me on this. I think that this is an extremely well put together portrait of the kind of perfection and sanity that is specific to women. And I don't know. It really resonated with me the way that this particular version of crazy. I don't know. I had a lot of experience with very, very high achieving young women and the particular ways that we go anxiously crazy, and it is spot on. That's how I felt. I was like, oh shit, this is really close to home, the way that,
definitely.
That's interesting, because I only took it as ballerinas, but
this is high achieving female anxiety to a T. And I saw it in the arts, but I've seen it in academia, I've seen it all over the place, and it's a special kind of crazy.
And again, that's one of the reasons why I didn't like this movie, is because it did get a lot of those anxiety things so well that it made it difficult for me to watch. I hate the phrase trigger warning because it's annoying me. It annoys me on a regular basis, but this movie is just one big trigger for me.
I mean, it's about anxiety, and it's about really bad shit happening to someone with really serious anxiity. And definitely having...
But it's not being taken care of, and that's the big issue.
Fucked up. No, I agree. And as someone who's gone a little bit down that road, but not all the way, it is really disturbing. Yep. And that evocation, though, I mean, it's really well done. It really hits close and really does what it's doing well, and it's super freaky.
I think it was written entirely by men.
Yeah, that's what I find so surprising, because it is really well done. in that element.
All right,
So
final
if
thoughts.
Austin were a girl,
Well, no, it did those
Wait,
things
what?
really well, but I wonder, like, how much of that was, women have to deal with this type of pressure and go through these types of anxieties on a regular basis when performing at such a high level, or how much of it was, chicks are crazy. Let's make her super crazy.
But it is like, you could have made her super crazy in a bunch of different ways, and it gets at something very real for me.
And the guy that played her counterpart, the prince in the show, he seemed like totally fine with everything.
Yeah, he's cool. I liked him. I also like to think about what he's thinking this whole time. Like, he's apparently a highly competent dancer. Like, there's the one scene where, like, she has to have a stand-in, clearly so that he can practice, because he has to practice too when she's late to rehearsal. Like, whatever.
He was probably going through some of the same things that she was in terms of,
but he's just
other
fine.
male dancers.
But he's just fine. And then watching this woman just, like, freak out. Must be kind of strange.
So that's why.
Final thoughts for me are, I think it was I thought it was good. A good story about losing yourself for perfection, and I think it's relatable for a lot of people.
Well, I mean, now that you mentioned the female aspect of it, I can definitely see why the French guy is just like, stop trying to be perfect and just let go. Because, guys can just kind of let go. That's something.
Yeah, and women are so incapable of
I know.
ever being free and being spontaneous.
This movie just solidified it all for me.
I'm just gonna get stabbed by Lee.
Yeah, this is the end.
All right. If that's everyone, I think we're ready for some hinge ratings.
Yeah.
I'll start the bar low with 2 hinges.
Wow.
Nice.
That's what I was going to say.
That's not that bad.
Say it.
Yeah, 2 hinges. It's really pretty to look at.
Most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time.
I thought it was so drab to
Well,
look at.
The camera movement.
Yeah.
Some fluid, awesome. Especially the end is
Awesome.
I have nothing to say about when Swan Lake's actually going on.
Yeah. 3.8 for me.
Ooh, you took mine.
You can repeat
You're allowed
numbers.
to repeat.
Well, then I repeat.
Okay. And Sarah?
I'll give it a solid 4.1.
All right.
Very nice.
That is the movie Black Swan. It is easily available lots of places.
Everywhere.
It's
I rented it on Amazon.
Yeah, I got it from the library.
I think I
Yay.
did too.
Good
Tim doesn't know
stories.
how I saw it. 'Cause he was drinking heavily, apparently.
Apparently.
Well, more heavily towards the end, because that's how drinking works, but...
Yes. Anywho. Lee, what album did we listen to this week?
We are listening to Whatever People Say I Am, That's What I'm Not by Arctic Monkeys.
Best title so far, right?
It is... Yes, I love this title. This title's great. This band is great. This album's great. I love this album.
So I had never heard the Arctic Monkeys before.
Really?
This is
They were one that I had always, like, I only probably started listening to them in the past couple of years, and they're always one of those bands that I heard of, but I never listened to.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I'm very disappointed in myself that I did not listen to them sooner.
I always feel that, like, cool people go like, oh yeah, I went to the Arctic Monkeys concert, I went to the December's concert. It's in that kind of vein of like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, people who should know what concerts are,
Mhm.
you go to those. And I go see Iranian films and stuff.
Yeah, the music kids, the kids that were like way into, they definitely, Arctic Monkeys was always thrown around by them. I had heard a few songs here and there, I just never knew they were Arctic Monkeys. Like, from this album, even.
Yeah.
So was this a good album after all the hype?
I think so. I listened to it for probably 5 hours today. I love this album.
Wow.
It makes me so happy. And, like, it's really cool because, like, this was their first album that came out, and it was, like, so popular that it was the fastest selling single in Britain at the time, and
When did it come out?
2006.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That was right, yeah.
What song was the single?
There were a couple songs that were singles on it. I wrote them down even. When the Sun Goes Down, and I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor.
That one seemed the most familiar, which means maybe it was in a car commercial, which is how I seem to hear music.
Might have been. I don't think it was, though.
Maybe it was in a movie. I don't know.
There was one song that I was like, oh yeah, I definitely heard this in some other context.
Yeah.
I don't
didn't
remember
research
what it
what it was.
No.
Oh, I listen to this album all the time, so I'm awful at that. But I love this album. I think it's a really cool concept. It's one of the more, I feel, relatable concept albums we've listened to so far, because most of the songs on the album are about a guy going out to the club one night and the things that he sees and the interactions he has.
And they're really... It was such a fun album to listen to for me because I tend to like lyrics more, and the lyrics are so interesting, but then also the music was equally as dynamic and experimental and fun, that it was really watching so many blending things come together in a really exciting way. I liked this album quite a bit.
Yeah, I love this album. I can't say enough good things about it. It's great. I love it.
The song I really liked was perhaps Vampires is a bit strong, but...
Such a great song.
It's essentially an argument going on by himself, but it's really an insult going down. And it's a lot of fun. It's so much just really clever beats going on, really clever perspectives. I didn't know this was the first album. This is a very, very strong debut.
Yeah, it's so well done and so cohesive as an album. It's hard to believe that it's a first album.
So,
were they all from different bands, maybe, that came together in a super band?
Nope, this was their first band. Well, their first major band, first popular band.
Wow.
Adam, what do you think?
Yeah, I only listened to it once, so I didn't really get a good gauge on it. But it was very, very listenable. Accessible, I would say, for either, if you want to listen to it for the lyrics specifically and get the deeper meaning out of it, or if you just want some casual listening. It's good for both.
Yeah, it was really fun. It flew by, and I was actually... it ended too quickly for me.
Yeah.
I was at work, I was almost done. I'm like, no, I like this quite a bit.
No! It's funny.
Yeah, was there any song that was longer than 4 minutes?
The last one was 5, right?
I think the Vampires one, perhaps Vampires is a bit strong, but I think that one is a little over.
That still flew by to me.
Yeah.
That's Certain Romance is 5.5. That's a great song. I love this album so much. I was trying to figure out what my favorite song was, and last week when I listened to it, I wrote down one, and then this morning I was listening to it again, and I wrote down another, and then this evening, right before we started recording, I wrote down another one. It's 3 different songs because it just depends on my mood, and it has, I don't know, it's just a lot of, I love this album, guys.
Mm-hmm. And it's hard to pick one, I think, because you can definitely listen to it all in one sitting, and it's all very cohesive, and almost, the songs almost switch between them imperceptibly, I would say. Maybe.
I had to keep making sure it was the same song or not.
Yeah.
And sometimes I find that to be a problem. I remember one time I was listening to my first Green Day album, and I fell asleep on my public transit, and I woke up, I was thinking, did I actually fall asleep, or is this the same song? I can't actually tell. This had, every song felt similar, but different, which is such a cliche of a phrase. But it was exciting because it would keep surprising you mid-song about how it does a riff, or how it does any sort of use of the rhythm and the timing. It was fun. I want to listen to it again, and also, it's the highest recognition so far, I want to listen to more albums by theirs. I should catch up to this popular band these kids are liking.
Yeah, their latest album's super strong as well.
I agree with... It's actually almost perfect, combining Austin and Adam's ideas. This is definitely... If I had started... Yes, I did. If I had started listening to this when it came out in 2006, when I sort of was feeling like a high schooler again, this would have been that perfect album that's in your CD player for a month straight, where you're listening to it on the bus, kind of half falling asleep, half not, sort of just losing yourself in dreaminess and the music, and just trying to shut out everything. And it just brought back that whole feeling to me, and it would have been the perfect, or it would have been one of those things where you listen to it nonstop forever. Within a few weeks, I'd have the album memorized.
I actually did think about this while listening to it, where back in 2006 I was living near Pedro after all our centuries, to and fro, and I was just thinking, man, 2006 Pedro and some other guys we knew back then would fucking eat this album up.
Yeah. Well, I know one kid probably did. Tuna, wherever he is. But
let's hope he's still alive.
I hope so. I don't know.
Pedro.
I've actually seen the Arctic Monkeys live.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Probably did. I don't know.
I bet he did. He's cooler than us.
Yeah.
It was Lollapalooza one year.
I would definitely see this band live. Like, I hate large crowds, and there are very few bands I want to see live. Arctic Monkeys are one of them.
Actually, that cool kid did go to Lollapalooza, and I think he saw them because they were one of the reasons he went. I think. So.
We're still talking about this cool kid that only Austin and Pedro know.
Go.
And also, he doesn't listen to our goddamn podcast.
Trevor, listen to our podcast, ass.
This doesn't work if you scream it
doesn't
during the
work that way.
podcast.
No.
Are we ready for hinges, or do we have more to say?
I don't think so.
Yes,
I'm
no.
ready for hinges.
Yes.
All right, Lee, I want to hear what hinge you give it.
5.
Wow.
Damn.
I love this
Nice.
album. I listened to it for 5 hours today.
Straight up.
I will probably listen to it at least 3 more times by the end of this week. I love this album.
That's a lot of listens. Actually, no, that's exactly what I was saying, though.
It's a great album.
It's not bad.
Pedro, what do you give it?
Not quite that high. Probably 4.4. It's a number I don't use enough, but I think it perfectly encapsulates my feelings.
4 for me.
I'm going to go 4.3. I think it'll probably go up with more repeat listenings, but I've heard it once, and I like it quite a bit.
Yeah, I feel like if I listen to it again, I'll like it more.
This is staying on my iPod.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah!
All right, so that is Whatever People Say I Am, That's What I'm Not by the Arctic Monkeys. And now it's time for some food.
Food.
Which is when Sarah wakes up and is very happy again.
Yes. The food for today is Membrillo, or Membrillo, if you...
Membrillo.
Membrillo, yeah. It is good. It's what it is you'll see it sold in America as quince paste. Quince being what posh British people call figs. And it's a paste, and you should eat it. And the boys are eating it right now. You can eat it on a cracker, or honestly, it's solid enough that you can honestly just pick it up. It's kind of sticky. Just to tell you a little bit about what it looks like. It is a pretty firm, gelatinous, sort of pinkish, reddish paste, sort of partially translucent. It's very firm. Like it's not easy to spread at all, and actually pretty much keeps its shape. If you like you could cut it into slices and cubes if you.
Well, I was
were
wondering
so
if that was how
inclined.
you eat it.
You can.
You should have said that before Adam tried to spread it while you were talking.
Well, you can spread it. You just have to
I'm
want
using
it.
the cracker
Really try.
essentially as
You
a
just have to
playground.
want it. Yeah, I mean, like it does kind of spread, but
I'm going to try to spread it.
okay, yeah, it's like I don't know. It's the consistency of quince paste. It's what it is.
I
It's
think I know
sometimes
what you
referred
mean.
to as quince cheese, which I find amusing. I assume because it has a consistency not
Kinda like
unlike a cheese, kind of. But anyway, eat it and tell me what you think, guys.
But it's more like smashing it.
Yeah,
But now it's more on cracker.
I mean, that sounds familiar. There's a something that's popular in Brazil called goiabada, I think. It's basically it's a fruit paste.
Yeah,
But it's the same. It comes in like a tin or like
Yeah.
rectangular slabs
yes, that
that
is
you
what
can
this is
either
what this is like.
you can spread it if you want, but they almost never do. They almost like cut it thinly in like little slices to put it on something, then maybe eat with the cheese on top of it or something, or on bread, or just pick up and eat. Like it's really firm. It's firm. It's firmer than Jell-O.
Yeah, it is.
Not quite as firm as like I don't know what a good upper bound would be.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard texture exactly to describe.
Yeah.
The boys are making really interested faces.
It's not at all what I thought it was going to taste like.
It's different. I've had Membrillo before because it's traditionally served with manchego as
and
well.
I have manchego cheese
Oh,
with
so
me.
jealous.
Sorry, I know it is a wonderful thing. It is really good with the cheese. It tastes like the only ingredients in it are quince, sugar, and lemon. But I'll let the boys. I feel like I'm watching them eat it, and I'm really fascinated to know what their feelings are.
Well, I don't know mine yet, so Adam has
You don't know what are your feelings, Adam?
Michael, what do you do with this?
Is this kind of like a Turkish delight? That's kind of the feeling.
In terms of consistency, that is actually probably the closest.
That's what I thought.
Except it's not covered in powdered sugar, so
Yeah.
it's not this. What it is, it's most commonly used as a cheese accompaniment on a cheese plate.
Yeah.
In the same way that you would put like a jam or something, you put this with Spanish cheese and ham.
Ooh, that kind of sounds good.
There is also a sandwich at my favorite cheese shop, which is where I always get the cheese for these podcasts, that makes a sandwich with those things along with Dijon mustard, and it's pretty much the best thing in the entire world.
No, plug the place. Maybe they'll sponsor us.
Yeah, Pastoral. It's wonderful. I love it. I
Say
buy
that
all my
again?
Pastoral.
Pastoral. Okay.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Next time y'all are in Chicago, we're going there. So I will give my opinion since the boys still seem confused. I love quince paste. I think it's delicious. I love figs. I didn't discover them until I was late in life, I think, of how good they are. They have a very specific, unique flavor that's very, like, deep and a little earthy and wonderful. Mm-hmm. And it's sugary and sweet without being overwhelming. And it is particularly good with a salty cheese like Manchego. Oh, it's so freaking good. I love it so much.
First of all, that's good cheese.
Good, so you like that cheese.
Really yeah.
Second of all,
cheese.
It took me a while. I think it's good. I think it tastes very good. I was like, this tastes somewhat familiar to me. I finally figured out what it is. I'm embarrassed by it.
Is it Fig Newtons?
No, it's worse than that. It's Pop-Tart filling.
Oh, snap.
It is. I don't even like Pop-Tarts that much, but like, you get like a strawberry Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
This is Pop-Tart filling.
No, wait, no.
Really? That's what it tastes like?
Flag on the play.
No,
it tastes nothing like strawberry Pop-Tart flavoring.
No, Adam gave me eyes of recognition when I said that.
No, this is not it. No,
it has
Put some breading around
consistency of Pop-Tart filling.
It does have the same. I will give you. It has the same consistency.
But it has like that sugary,
mm-hmm.
but like not too strong sugary. It's just like no. This is better than Pop-Tart filling, but that's what it reminds me.
Yeah, it is way better than Pop-Tart filling.
He said he was going to be embarrassed by that revelation.
This is fair.
But I had it.
Yeah.
It took me like
It's
5 minutes to get to it.
Here's my thing. I guess I'm a very utilitarian eater. I don't have any use for this food. Because it's not, you can't spread it like on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, really. That's the only sandwich I eat.
It might go good.
Just call
with
it the
peanut butter.
sandwich.
I mean, this thing comes, there's a lot of it, and it has a lot of sugar in it, so we're not going to finish it. I am going to try and pair it with peanut butter tomorrow. I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, we
Cut
can
it
put
to
peanut butter
thin
on a
strips
cracker.
instead of spreading it and lay them down like cheese.
Yeah.
Well, I
yeah.
smashed it, and that kind of worked better.
I got it
spread.
spread.
What kind of
And-
crackers do you have?
Well, we got the ones
Just
from
cars
a
with
previous
like
episode.
water table crackers.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like they would smash the cracker.
Yeah, it's close to doing that. Yeah, it's a problem.
It's Pedro. It's good. I guess I'm similar to Adam, where it's like if I'm making a nice like fancy snack plate, I'd rather have cheese and meat crackers. Like, I don't
have
see
these
this as,
with cheese and meat.
I had it with the cheese and I had it with the cracker, and I thought it was good. But it was the third best flavor going on there.
You liked the cracker better than it?
I don't even love that cracker.
Oh man!
I just it's good. It's something that I've never apparently had before.
It doesn't have enough flavor for me to want to come back to it.
I see, and I feel different. I feel the opposite. I feel like it's crack. Like I feel like I constantly just want to like take another bite of it. I think it's because of the texture. It's such a specific, pleasing texture.
Is it grainy?
Yeah, it's like great. This is gonna sound really gross, but it actually is delicious. It's like grainy Jello. It's so like it's really like a nice. I really like it.
Yeah, and grainy Jello is not a phrase I want to
No, I know.
That sounds kind of good though. 'Cause
It
I
is really
I can
good.
imagine like the fig bits because fig is very
Yeah,
fibrous and
exactly.
grainy on its own. Like,
or
I can
it's
imagine
like it's non-watery jam. It's jam that doesn't pour or spread. It's got that same. I'm like addicted. I think it should be kept away from me because I'm going to keep eating it, and it's just sugar.
Well, you're the one who likes it. So
But it's just sugar. Like, and I've already been eating it the whole podcast because I'm obsessed with it.
Well, it's
Because I've always only eaten it on sandwiches, and I've never had the opportunity to be like, yes, this flavor that you like, you can eat it. Here's an entire tub of it for you to eat with your face.
well, it's
Oh, it's so good.
it's good. I think it looks appealing.
Well,
We did talk about the visual element of food. That's strangely an important part of it.
it is. It's true.
I've now watched one episode of the Great British Bake Off. I know these things now.
It looks more appealing than some of the other foods that we've had.
What
true. It is.
You just did like a giant.
Well, I wanted to make the cut clean because I've been taking like scoops out of it, so I just cut off the edges, and now I'm going to eat this giant piece.
It looks like you have a mini popsicle now.
I'm so excited. It's so tasty. Mm.
You're reviewing this right now. Don't put all that. Okay.
I love it. Oh, it's so satisfying.
Wait, so what's in the 900s category of foods?
It's all these spreads and stuff.
Okay.
It's various, it's like condiments.
And there's a lot of more desserty things near the end.
Was that where the mostarda came from?
Yes.
Okay. God damn it.
Which, by the way, still in my fridge for those who haven't had it yet. We don't know how it goes bad. So,
I don't think we'd be able to tell the difference.
I don't think it goes bad. I think it just is.
So next time Lee's in Chicago, we're going to make her eat it.
Go.
Never come to Chicago again.
Shall we henge this delectable wonder?
Yeah, go for it.
I really like this. 4.3.
I'll give it 3.
I'll say... I want to just say 2.5 because it's right in the middle, and I just don't have really any opinions on this food.
Well, you all are wrong.
I think
This is
it's a bit more positive.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody hand me a cracker with that on it, I'll be upset. I'm making myself.
But I wouldn't
probably
know.
Not.
I wouldn't know if it was like rhubarb jam or this.
Well, I think jam has. I like jam more than this, I guess.
But if it was like already spread.
Oh, already spread. Yeah. Well,
you're all wrong, and this is delicious.
all right. Now let's move on to our children's book. And the curious thing about the way the 1001 children's book that you must read before you grow up is structured is that it's done by age range. And then from that, it's chronological. So whenever we pull a later number, like the intern assigned us to 974 this time.
Like a jerk.
This is really a longer book. And in fact, we checked it out from the fiction section of the library, not the children's section.
Fiction, yeah.
So, Adam, what did you and I read this time?
It is called Across the Nightingale Floor, and it's from a book series called Tales of the Otori. This is the first book in the series. It's by Leanne Hearn, and it was published in 2002, and it's essentially about a young man his village is ransacked, destroyed, everyone's killed by this terrible leader. It's set in like a fictional feudal Japan, and the boy escapes after like knocking the guy off his horse, so that's like a huge insult. And then he escapes into the woods and is found by a member of the Otori clan, and goes on from there. He becomes his apprentice and is trained, and it turns out he's from a secret line of assassins.
As one tends to be in such things.
As tend to be in young adult novels, which brings me to my first point, that this was a very typical young adult novel.
It was, wasn't it? So
yeah.
I didn't read the back of the book until it's like 100 pages in. And then within the second sentence of the back of the book, it says, his father was a celebrated assassin from a member of this tribe, yada yada. And I said, of course he's a chosen one kid with perfect abilities already and all this. It was such an... Oh, guess what? Who's the second lead? A girl who has all this training that she's done the entire time, but has difficulty in society because she's a woman. I'm like, holy shit, we've already done this podcast.
Yeah. Which one are you talking about specifically?
What's it called? The steampunk one.
Mortal Engines.
Yeah, Mortal Engines.
Absolutely. I was going to say that one.
Going on.
Yes, except what I liked in Mortal Engines, even though the main character was a doof, he didn't have that secret power, which is just such...
But he was the center of everyone's attention for quite a long time. This one really was everyone just losing their mind about this person. It was a bummer because I was intrigued for a long time about this not that real, but like close to being real look at feudal Japan.
Yeah.
And I found certain elements really interesting, and I was intrigued for a while, and then they stopped doing the plot for 50 pages, and then they come back to it, and then they lose it again. It's a strange book.
Right.
And it's also, I don't blame it for being in the adult section, because there's a rape attempt 30, 40 pages in, and that's probably not going to come up a lot in this podcast for the children's book section.
I don't know, though. You tend to touch on some sensitive things in children's books sometimes.
That's true, but this one was like, I was reading on the train going, holy shit, this is uncomfortable. I hope this doesn't happen again for this character.
Well, it does.
Because that's how they keep... And that's what kind of bugged me. I feel like it happened again. I was thinking, this is fictional, with all these kind of crazy fictional worlds of the steampunk of Mortal Engines and the new history of this. Can we just have one with, I don't know, even a lessened patriarchy? Can we just, why does every female character need to always be like, oh, we have magic and all this other stuff, but you're still a woman? It's like, you're making up a new bullshit thing. Don't have every one of these characters always be like, well, men are putting me down, even though I'm a better assassin than all these people.
Yeah. It's like, I want to do this, but I can't, because I'm a woman.
And this just keeps happening. And I was looking for something kind of new going on here, and there's just no reason for that to have happened again in this story.
Yeah.
And I at least found the main character more interesting, but it then became awfully ridiculous after many moments when either he perfectly knows what's going on, or he perfectly doesn't know what's going on, then everyone laughs and explains it for several pages. Like, oh, no, actually society works this way.
He's, as a character, I think he's just too strong, because the whole time he's trying to kill the guy that killed his family, and I just never really believed that he wouldn't be able to do it, because he has super hearing.
He does.
He has super hearing. He can hear. He knew how many people were in a building. There was like 50-something. And
because that's assassin DNA.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
sure.
Well, I mean,
That's
if you
how
can
that
hear
works.
that well, at some point, doesn't it become sonar?
Kind of.
Oh shit, is this Japanese Batman?
I really think it is. No, I think it's more Japanese Daredevil.
Well, in that it's not blind at all.
Yeah. But he... what else was I going to say? What else can he do? Okay, so if you don't know what a Nightingale floor is, it's just a really badly made floor that squeaks when you walk on it, no matter how hard you try.
But that was made on purpose, right? 'Cause, like,
it's made on...
It's not assassins that will die.
Yes, I'm sorry. It's purposely made poorly so that you can hear people around you.
Okay, that's a difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was unclear. That was my fault. So the bad guy has this floor made around his dwelling so that he can sleep better and hear assassins coming. And so fairly early on in the book, before halfway through, I think, this kid learns how to walk silently across not that Nightingale floor, but a different Nightingale floor. So I'm like, oh, great. Well, what's stopping him now? Except because he can also turn invisible. That's right. He can turn invisible.
Sure.
And leave a second self. So someone is talking to him, and then he moves away.
Which,
and then,
like so many of these books, it's happened also with Mortal Engines. I couldn't tell if it was a metaphor at first, and then no, it's not. I didn't know if this was being fanciful with its prose. But also, I guess to me, an issue with this book is that the guy who literally adopts him, I liked him for a bit, but then once he just became like instantly right all the time about so many things, he just became very dull, and it became very, well, how, there's only two paths the story can go down, and it goes down the path you think it does. This whole book felt like 300 pages of exposition for the next thing, but it didn't intrigue me to continue this, I think, trilogy of books.
Right. There is, at the end of this copy of the book, a preview of the second book.
Oh, did you read it?
I did read it.
Okay, I did not.
And it's from the perspective of... Half of this book is from the perspective of the guy, and then it's from the perspective of the girl. But that's in third person. His perspective is in first person. Anyway, the first chapter in the second book is from the woman's perspective, and she starts to kind of realize that she is more powerful than she thinks. I think it's because...
Probably that in the first chapter for her story.
Yeah. I think it's because the two main characters did stuff, and so now she has powers.
Bullshit. Really?
I think that's where it's going.
Because I thought she built lessons as a character as the book went on because of her relationship with them. Like, you were so interesting, and now it's all about this. Okay.
But it's... I think that's a better route to go, is to give her more
agency.
Agency. Thank you. That's
yes.
exactly the word I was looking for. Yeah. Overall, kind of just like whole book about a first act.
Yeah, and it had moments where it was really fast-paced for me, like especially early on when the villages would be attacked. That was really interesting. I thought the overall, like when they were actively plotting what to do next about all these elements, about Game of Thrones-y, like wedding deals, was really interesting.
Yeah.
But then when it's just like, are you going to be a great assassin? Yeah, the answer's yeah.
Yeah.
All the downtime was rough to me.
Yeah.
And this was harder to get through than I thought it was going to be.
His main problem was that he cared too much to kill people. That was the thing.
Which was the thing holding him back. And that is, I mean, every Hitman and assassin movie is centered around that.
Right.
And
that would be like if you're an assassin interviewing for a job and they say, what's your biggest strength and your biggest weakness? It's a weakness that you turn into a strength.
Right. Yes. And
I like this idea of this interview question and exactly how it would play out. That's a pretty quality like short play right there.
Yeah. and now I'm thinking about a 45-minute episode of a certain TV show that had a whole hiring of assassins.
Yay!
But we'll get to that soon, won't we?
Yeah. Okay, let's wrap this.
You wrap this up?
Yeah.
All right. So this is how many hinges do you give it?
Man, this is I think my first in the ones.
This is a 1 for you.
Yeah, it's a 1.7.
I'm gonna give it a 2.5 because it did have enough high points for me that like I found it interesting, but there's no way I'm gonna read the sequel.
No.
And it's like not even like a maybe kind of thing if I have time.
Yeah.
This is I'm not going to the sequel. And the reviews are insane for this book. Like the back of the book, it's a New York Times
notable
glowing.
Book. It did win the bear with me, the Deutscher Jugendliteraturpreis, which is the German
Children's Prize.
Yeah.
Children's Literature Prize.
Did I say it right? Do you know?
No, you didn't. But that's okay.
Can you say it?
I have no idea. I'm going to assume Deutsche Junger Literaturpreis or something along
Close
those lines.
enough.
Without seeing it, I'm going to say it's pretty close.
I mean, obviously in the back of the book, they're all going to give the positive reviews. But I mean, these are major things. The Independence and the most extraordinary novel, the passion and rapture for the story is so compelling it's almost worth delaying your holiday for. New York Times
Which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think apparently this book may have to come out right before Valentine's Day. I don't know, or right before Christmas. It's
you better rethink your Arbor Day plans.
Because you got this 300-page thing about it. And I mean, like, so Across the Nightingale Floor, good title. The second title, Grass for His Pillow, bad title.
Bad title.
That's a dumb title.
Third title, Brilliance of the Moon, right in the middle.
Say again?
Brilliance of the Moon.
Brilliance of the Moon.
Not bad.
That's fine.
Grass for his pillow is not that bad.
Do they?
That's pretty bad.
I get a feeling of a guy, out in the wilderness. All he's got is grass for his pillow. No,
What?
just me. Okay.
But that's not a book.
All right, everyone. It's time now.
I'm so
Whoa,
excited
whoa,
about
Oh
it.
no!
Okay.
You're an asshole.
What about
I have a thing.
what about Pedro's song?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, we skipped
his
that earlier.
song.
You skipped my song.
Never mind. Pedro, you have a song to talk about?
I do.
Sorry.
I have a song.
Austin's really excited because he loves Gotham so much.
Yeah, me too. But I have
I-
to talk about
I
my
am so
song.
sorry.
Otherwise,
I
the
skipped
intern
the
might
order.
strike me.
Pedro.
So yeah, I have a song. Hello, guys. My song. This. My
Do
song
you want
this
to
week.
re-edit it?
No.
Is-
How many hinges do you give it, Pedro?
No! Let's talk about it. I like this song.
How many hinges would I give it?
no, that's
Maybe that'll become clear as we talk.
Yeah.
So the song is "My People" by the
Sorry.
Presets. The Presets are an Australian band, very, very Australian actually. This was a huge hit. It came out in late 2007, and I had never heard of it until now. But it was nominated for 2 ARIA awards. For those of you who don't know, the very few, ARIA is Australian something or another award.
So the Australian Grammys.
Recording, the Australian Recording Industry Association Music Awards.
So the Australian Grammys.
Yeah. It was nominated for Best Single and Best Video, and it won Best Video. Not surprising,
That
because
video is cool.
that video was
Yeah, it's really
awesome.
cool.
So basically, it just starts out
really?
with... I loved that video. Are you kidding me?
It was so trippy.
It
Super
was.
trippy, yeah.
It was great.
Best video?
Probably.
I mean, of
2007?
its year, like not like ever made.
The 2008 award because it came out late 2007.
In 2008.
But
Also, in all of Australia. I can see that being the best one.
apparently it was the second biggest hit of 2008, second to something by Flo Rida. I don't know what. I don't know anything about Flo Rida except that Colbert features him in his name.
It's hard to top Flo Rida. I'll say that.
Is it? Okay, I'll take your word.
In Aziz Ansari's new sociology book, he actually has a great philosophy on modern online dating connected to Flo Rida.
It's really awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Did you just refer to Flo Rida as Flo Rider?
I don't know who he is.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
I only know him
Rida.
from...
That's how it's spelled.
If you put it together, it's Florida.
Yeah.
Because he's from Florida.
Jesus Christ.
It's
Yeah,
not
it is-
spelled with a W or an ER at the end.
Floor Rider.
Oh god, it hurts me.
So yeah, no, this song, I think in the ARIA Music Award history, it still holds the record for longest running top track in the list. I don't know if it was top, but something like 76 weeks, which is...
Wow.
No, 76... Yeah, weeks. Months would not
That's a long
make
time.
sense. Weeks. That's a good amount of time. But the video, definitely awesome. It basically just starts with a guy walking, and then another guy walking, and then they superimpose.
And then the other guy
images.
is walking next to the same guy.
Yep.
It's so cool.
And when it starts, I thought there was like a pterodactyl or a T-Rex coming into the scene because he's got this weird thing that you think is
on
hair.
his
You
head.
find out it's a mask later, a
Yeah.
really creepy wooden mask, kind of like the mask.
It looked like Groot.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. And then the whole video is just tons of images of the same guys superimposed in different levels, and like they'll make a motion and then repeat it because they'll all be staggered time wise, and it becomes like, you know, when you play music on your computer and you hit the visualization mode and you see the visualization going with the music. That's basically what it was, but with people doing
It's
crazy
really,
stuff.
really cool.
It was awesome. But the song itself, I really enjoy because, kind of like I was saying earlier with the Arctic Monkeys, that album that we had just reviewed, that it would be like a perfect school bus type song or album. You play it, forget about it, and just kind of whatever. This is for, you know, when you're having a bad day or even a good day and you want to get yourself pumped up. It's one of those songs that I just want to put my headphones on, turn it up, and just go. Just whatever, forget. It's kind of hard, kind of electric. I don't really know where to put it. I mean, it's electric dance is what they say.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Sounds kind of, I mean, it's almost bordering on like hard rock type, the way I guess that's just the heavily distorted synthesizer.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
It had a really good beat. I would definitely dance to it.
Oh yeah.
I was making dinner while listening to it
Really?
and found myself dancing. Yes.
It's a great dance beat. Everything about it. It's fairly simple because, you know, it's just, you know, a beat, a few lyrics that keeps repeating, and then they'll build on each other, maybe come down a little bit. I really like. I referred to this when we reviewed the Ozzy song. No, not Ozzy. Yeah, it was Ozzy. How I like that big grand sound. You know, the just heavy power chords, distortion. This really hit the spot as far as like the entire song just being awesome.
Yeah.
This song made me happy. I'm gonna listen to it on the way home because I'm kind of tired, and it will pick me right up. And I really want to dance to this now, though. I want to go. I want to go find a club somewhere.
Adam, what do you think?
I think that the first time I heard this song, I already felt like I had heard it on the radio a million times. It kind of reminded me a little bit of that Blue song by Eiffel 65,
Really?
which is just them saying that thing.
I'm blue, dabba dee dabby da.
Oh,
Yes.
what? No, that's such a soft song.
Comparatively.
I think you mean like lyrics repetitiveness.
Yeah, it just it was annoying to me. I didn't really think it's I don't think it's a good song.
No, I don't think it's a good song either.
Oh.
You guys
And
suck.
also, I don't think the music video is good.
You're
video.
an idiot.
It could be very easy just to blame the curse number 13 for this episode, but no, I thought this was a frequently annoying song.
Oh, yes.
No way.
I-
The chorus comes in and they start like harmonizing to the exact same thing, but like it's just like even heavier and more intense and enveloping. It's what's wrong with you?
I'm going to use those exact words for my argument.
Yeah, me too.
Y'all are wrong. I'm with Pedro on this one.
This is a great song. I
Well,
enjoy
that's where you have to live now. You agree with Pedro?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's a good song. Like I really enjoyed it, and I will probably seek out the presets and listen to more of their music
Yeah, I'm
because I've
curious.
never heard of them.
The album, it came off the album Apocalypso, so this is their second album. That album won like a ton of ARIA awards. If that means anything to all of our Australian listeners, let us know what you think.
Well, it was I was listening to the song, I was thinking, like, is it actually harder to review a song than an album? Because with an album, you kind of get used to their style.
Yeah, it definitely is, I
But-
think, in a way.
Then I realized, wait, no, what I'm talking about. People give me one song to listen to all my life. I know how to do that. And even by the first song, the Arctic Monkeys, I got what they were doing. It was embracing, or other albums not embracing by the end of this first song. I don't want to ever listen to this band again. I'm
The whole band?
Yeah, I'm good. If this is their pinnacle.
I don't know if it's their pinnacle, but
it's one of the 1,001 songs from Here Before You Die.
And like you said, it won 1 billion RES.
The It Winning music video shocked me. Like, oh, this is just a cheap, not that good music video for a song. That's fine. But now it's an award winner. Like, what the hell is this shit?
Yeah.
It's awesome and, like, interesting and sort of takes a lot of artistic work. I mean, I think it's so cool how I think your point about the visualizer, and like, I thought it more like a magic eye puzzle, like
Yeah.
they do with body parts. It's so cool.
Oh yeah, kind of like it's got to be hard to make that because you
Yeah.
really, I mean, you have to take the same cut and then I'm sure it's one of those things where after you do it a million times, but it's got to be really hard to make that to be synchronized with the music
Oh, for
and
sure. Yeah.
to cover everything, then to overlap because there would be 2 or 3 different people versions. I guess I don't know how to explain it.
Well, it's just
mask guy plus orange face guy, putting them together
Yeah.
in between each other and overlapping just right. It's got to be. I was impressed. I don't know what Austin's talking about. Cheap. Fuck you.
well, they're using the same thing over and over.
Yeah, but it's just one copy that they have to stagger precisely and overlay precisely over each other and other copies. Not easy.
I wish we could record Adam's smile right now about it.
It's not. I mean, it's not easy. It's not. I don't think it's as difficult as you're making
It's
it
nice.
out.
It's not expensive.
Yeah, it's not expensive. That's the thing. It's not expensive, and
Exactly. They can do this on a budget.
Like
Production companies
cheap
love that.
budget.
Yeah.
it,
They're-
shows.
that-
It
that's
shows.
even better.
That's what I'm saying. It shows.
Yeah, it
Good.
definitely shows
I'm
how
glad.
cheap it is.
I like it.
All right, Peter, how many hinges do you give it?
This like 4.7.
All right, Lee.
I'll give it a solid 4.
I'll give it a 3.8. Really liked it, but yeah, I really liked it.
Adam.
I think I'm going to say 1.4.
Wow.
2 1s in a row.
I was going to say 1.5, and I'm going to. All right, now let's wrap up me being the dick of this episode.
Your favorite show.
Oh, wait.
No, you're all dicks this episode. This
What?
I
I
like
agree-
the-
segment.
Pedro,
I like the
I've
album.
agreed with you on literally everything.
Okay,
You said
good.
D. Oh. Anyway, I like the album. Keep that for the record. Also, listen to the last episode. The last episode where I liked the movie that you all hated. Just throw it out there.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that movie
this was
was
a terrible
bad.
movie.
It's a bad movie.
That's now our lowest rated movie.
Well, that's
Yeah,
not
that's good.
bad.
Anywho, I'm going to pull up a timer now. We have to limit this conversation because we could do a whole podcast on this topic of the Fox television show Gotham. I'm going to try
Would we? Is there that much to say about it?
I
Yes.
feel like there
let's
probably could be.
just see where we are in 12 minutes and see if we've close to wrap up the discussion.
Good call.
Gotham is a show that premiered in 2014. It tells the story in the DC universe of Gotham before Batman became Batman. It follows James Gordon before he is commissioner, and he is a more idealistic cop who wants to go after the corrupt elements of Gotham. And also at the same time, you have young Bruce Wayne, who experienced the death of his parents in the pilot episode, and you get to also watch the rise of famous villains like the Penguin, Catwoman as a child, Poison Ivy as a child, the Scarecrow's in it briefly, Two-Face is still Harvey Dent, he's a lawyer. I'm missing someone big.
The Riddler.
The Riddler, right. And Edward Nygma works in Gotham PD as a forensics guy. And he will, of course, one day
Gotham
become...
City Police Department. Come on, Austin. GCPD.
Don't give a shit. Doing the intro, I'm being neutral right now. He'll one day become the Riddler. The show is currently in its second season as we record this. I believe now 30-something episodes have aired. I watched every single one of them.
Because you hate yourself.
The 60-second motion comic that came out today to tie into the mid-season premiere, which is next month.
You gonna keep watching it, Austin?
The motion comic or the show itself?
The show.
If I feel that the show will be canceled this season, I will be tempted to watch the last 10 episodes for just masochistic reasons, because this may be the worst show on the air. That's ridiculous, because there are hundreds and hundreds of bad shows in the air.
Yeah,
I just
Still
don't watch them.
Yes.
I only watch shows I want to watch, and now that I've seen this show, which is currently on the air, holy shit, this is a catastrophe every episode. It is bonkers how bad at storytelling and characterization it is. There is no story. There is nothing happening, because prequels are one of the hardest things to do. I think very few things have ever done it right, because there are very limited stakes, because you know James Gordon is not going to die before Batman becomes Batman. So you know he's safe. But when 80% of your characters are now safe characters, you have to change the way you're going to tell a story. It reminded me of Torchwood Season 4, which had the premise in that season that for some mystical sci-fi reason, nobody could die in that season. I was like, oh, what a curious premise. Like, they'll change the way action scenes work, because people can't just pull out guns, and that's the drama. But that show is bad, and that's what kept happening. So there kept being gunfight scenes where people could literally not die in those scenes, because that's the premise of the show. That's essentially what's happening here. They threaten to kill James Gordon every episode. Yeah. They have the Penguin at like a point-blank assassination by other mob leaders. I believe, I could be miscounting, 6 or 7 times throughout the series. And shocker, he doesn't die because...
Don't spoil it.
He's the Penguin!
He can't die before Batman's not done with junior high school yet.
Yeah, you can't spoil this show. Everyone who's a main character is going to survive until Bruce becomes Batman.
But the show either thinks we're stupid, which has to be, or they don't know they're stupid, because that's every episode is, oh my god, this person wants to kill the Penguin. Are they going to succeed? No, that's not going to happen.
That's your bad for expecting that to be a thing. Everyone knows they're not going to succeed. That's not why you watch the show.
Why? But they always put them in these life or death situations.
Because it's fun to watch.
No,
you know nothing's going to happen, but it doesn't matter.
That's not fun.
It's boring.
What? So what needs to happen then is stakes beyond that happening. You need to experience people like this. You need to watch a character arc take place. You need to see. Right now, there's a great prequel series going on called Better Call Saul, which is a prequel to Breaking Bad, and that's a great show. And obviously, the same situation. We know Saul's not going to die because Saul's alive in Breaking Bad. We know Mike is not going to die because Mike's alive in Breaking Bad. But the show doesn't pretend that's going to happen every episode. It instead says, this is a story about what makes these characters, and here's going to be a full story about them. At the end of Better Call Saul, which is currently going on, also it's on the list of the show for this podcast, I can see it's already forming a full story of, like, here is a full story before Breaking Bad. This whole show is a never-ending first act of the the second and third act have to be when Batman's happening.
Yeah.
Because there's literally no character arc besides one day they will be interesting. Because after 30 episodes, no one has changed, no one has become anything, nothing has happened. The show is a disaster.
That's the entire point, though. It's almost like a procedural show where, you just watch it to watch what's going to happen in the episode.
So,
James Gordon's not going to die, but you want to see how's he going to get out this time.
Here's my thing with procedurals that are based off of other characters. You can change the name of all these characters and have a really cool show with
agreed.
possible, people dying. Just like
I will
Elementary.
give you that. It would be more interesting if we didn't know the Riddler was the Riddler.
Just like Elementary would be a great procedural if you changed the characters from Sherlock Holmes and Watson to somebody else and somebody else. This would be a great show if it were the Crow and the Question Guy instead of the Riddler. And
Right.
Yeah, I think that what frustrated me most about the show, I only watched a couple episodes because it's bad, is that it has at its disposal all of the tools of comic books because it's a comic book show. And then it doesn't use them. As an example, actually, in serialized comic books, you can kill the Penguin. A lot of these characters have multiple incarnations, and people who, take on the mantle of the previous guy. There's absolutely no reason that these characters have to be the exact same characters that Batman encounters. There's no reason that, that surprising things can't happen.
Well, the Penguin has to be the Penguin because he's got a physical deformity that makes it funny.
There's comics throughout all of Batman. All sorts of things have happened to villains, and there's a beauty to comic books, and that Gotham is. It could do this, and it doesn't. That almost nothing's canon. Gotham isn't slave to the Chris Nolan Batman genre or Batman series or any other, anything. If they want, their characters, their versions of these characters to be interesting in some way in order to tell a story, they could do that. And instead, they don't.
It's also weirdly not even canon to current DC market, because right now there's a new Batman movie coming out next month. And
Jesus, really?
Yeah, it's Superman v. Batman: Dawn of Justice.
God damn it.
But that is DC made. That's a sequel to Man of Steel. Gotham is not in that canon.
Oh, is Gotham not officially?
No, Gotham's not.
Well, that's why they totally could do
but
whatever the hell they wanted.
Right, and they have also Flash and Arrow, which are not in the canon of those movies or Gotham. Then you have Supergirl, which is not in canon any of those.
I think that's great. I think it's fine.
It's awesome, which means you should have the freedom to go ball nuts. I think the only way to save the show is if you shoot Bruce Wayne in the face.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He should have been
shoot
shot.
Bruce Wayne in the face, and you say he's dead, and just tear up his body parts to make sure this guy is not faking it. He's actually dead, and then Gordon becomes Batman. That's what his arc.
That would be awesome.
That's what his arc's doing. And then you go, oh shit, everything is now in the present day. Everything matters, because right now the fact that they can't move forward is making every character weaker. When you have a thing of 3 mob bosses, you have a thing where you can't. The mob bosses look weaker because they can't kill the Penguin, who is one of the most incompetent criminals I've ever seen.
Oh my god! And he's always lauded as a genius. It's no,
never
he's
smart.
kind of dumb.
So I cut off Sarah.
Well, no, I just note that Austin's rants about how horrible this is at least 8 of the 10 minutes we've touched it ourselves. You really hate this show.
I saw 30.
I know, you really
so
do.
terrible.
So, but I mean. I don't want to just focus on what's bad about it because it is a missed opportunity. It also tries to do things and fails epically. Fucking
damn it! I thought you were going to say something good.
No, the Balloon Man episode where they try and make a villain that something kills people with weather balloons. Of all the dumbest ideas you could possibly have, it's idiotic, and they play it completely straight. It is not a joke. It is not funny. No one makes a pun. Come on, at least make a pun.
Mm-hmm.
The city loves Blue Man. It's on the news.
Yeah, it just.
I love Blue Man.
Oh
He's
my
doing great
god.
things for crime.
He's trying to clean up the streets and the city.
But that's what Batman does later.
But Batman's not there yet. He's just a terrible little boy.
But you watch Bruce Wayne watch the news and go, maybe
Hey.
Blue Man's got something here. Maybe in 30 years I'll use this.
Yeah.
He's 10.
Which also isn't a
30
helpful...
years?
I meant 20.
Isn't a helpful narrative, like, isn't in line with any of the normal Batman origin stories. Like, it's just bad. It's just bad.
I have some more things to say, but I want to hear everyone else's thoughts. Adam, you've seen all season 1 and half season 2.
Yeah, I saw the last half of season 2, and I think it's admirable what they tried to do, which is to see if this universe can stand without the main character. And it's worked before, like, I don't know, like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. It's like
Sure.
Hamlet without... No, Macbeth.
No, Hamlet.
Hamlet. It's
Thank
Hamlet.
you. Yeah.
But you can look at a side character, and essentially it's how we Better Call Saul right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's probably the best
but
example.
the thing is, going off what you were saying before, Austin, the stakes in each of these episodes are life and death, and you know that it's not going to be death. So the stakes need to be different. And it would help if the Penguin wasn't already the Penguin, because he's the Penguin now. He's not going to change anymore.
Right.
I guess that's true.
The Riddler had an okay arc, but yeah, I mean, just from being a mild-mannered scientist to going to be a supervillain. So I think who has the most interesting arc right now, it's not the best, but the most interesting is Barbara, Gordon's
Okay,
wife.
now,
It's so bad, but
we have to be careful because those two are enjoying the show, and they haven't got to why it's interesting yet. I'm pointing to Lee and Pedro right now.
Wait, wife?
You are not in the room, so you're really just pointing at a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only on episode 17 of season 1. So.
I'm somewhere around there.
Oh, okay.
15 or something.
And no, I agree. She is the only character who actually changes. Where she goes with that, I thought they did it by accident at first, and then they commit to it and go, okay, here we go, character change. And I actually think the best arc of the show is first half of season 2 because
with the doctor.
Peter's whispering on mic. But early on, season 1's a disaster because it's mostly focused around 3 mob bosses who have undefined sense of power. Also, undefined sense of if they're actually criminals because they keep saying they run Gotham, but there's no evidence of that in 22 episodes at all.
They kind of kill people sometimes.
They just
And
kill
the
each
mayor
other.
is definitely on the payroll of one of the guys.
But
So, I mean, that's the
But there's-
definition of running the city.
No, but there's no, like, great villains in TV shows. If you look at Gus Fring in Breaking Bad, you look at Glaber or Abatiatus in Spartacus,
Yeah.
you look at them and go, man,
Glaber, come on.
Glaber. They're creating ripples among the show. Them existing has a cause and effect for the main characters, but also the city as a whole. If you, in season 1, cut out all the scenes with Falcone and Fish Mooney and other guy,
Maroni.
Maroni.
nothing changes. Like, the city has an undefined sense of corruption, which will also, by the way, never be solved until Batman gets there. So it's just like a constant going on. So season 2 begins at least with a new villain actually doing things. And it was the lowest bar to have, but it actually was doing. It was actually an active person doing something.
How much time elapsed between seasons 1 and 2? Because I'm hoping this will be sort of like, Spider-Man, where teenage Bruce Wayne becomes...
like a month.
Okay.
Maybe a week.
That would be interesting to see.
No, they should jump 20 years in the future.
Or
20 years is way too much.
Batman's
If you're going to be
there.
Batman, you got to be, 20s.
No, that's what Austin is saying. They should just make a TV show that's about Batman.
Because they could.
Or they could just do it. They could focus on Gordon.
Yeah.
During the reign of era of Batman.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Maybe they're
What they
building up to it.
What they should do
No,
is
you can't build up to that because season 20 when the show becomes interesting.
Only if they go year by year, but
Which
maybe
they
they
have.
won't.
And
Maybe
there's-
they will. Yeah, only once. They've only done one jump.
No, you could jump in the middle of a show.
Yeah, they can. Maybe they will.
Doubt it.
It's going to get
No.
canceled before that.
Possible.
The
Yeah, that's
show's
probably-
not smart enough for that.
Yeah.
The show is show not even you said, Pedro, you don't watch it. You only watch it to see what happens in this episode and go, oh, that's kind of fun. Like
It
it's not a
is.
smart show.
No, it's not.
It's a
I mean, the
dumb,
first
dumb show.
episode, I got annoyed, and then I started watching it more, and I was like, okay, the thing is, I like watching this.
I feel like you have Stockholm syndrome.
I
Almost
might.
certainly.
Well, it's also proving that it doesn't know what it's doing because I don't give a fuck about spoilers. the tease to the second half of season 2.
Well, don't spoil too much, though.
I don't give a shit. No, I'm not going to.
Take my headphone out.
No, it's the last scene of the first half of season 2 is Mr. Freeze walking around.
Damn it, he comes back?
They don't get that you
away.
can't add in more criminals who can't be defeated, and he has a fucking gun that shoots ice things going on.
That's what Mr. Freeze is.
I know, and apparently he's going to be that for 20 years.
Yeah.
All right, we've gone more than the time I want to. I'm just going to vaguely say that the show is also horrifically sexist.
Oh, God, so.
Yeah,
and
it's not good.
Also is obsessed with having 10-year-olds kiss each other.
10-year-olds should not be that sexually active.
Oh, or even having, in the most recent episode, the bad guy demands that this 10-year-old girl, who they've already described as a vixen, the only way that she's allowed back into the family is if she can get Bruce Wayne to kiss her.
Good.
That's a plot line. That's her entire goal for 40 minutes, and it's horrifying to watch. Very, very quick round the clock. If anyone has anything else to say about it, but we've gone on for 16 minutes.
I like it.
Yeah, we know.
It's not good.
It's not made to be good.
But I enjoy watching
What do you mean it's not made to be good?
That's not a thing that makes sense.
It's
No,
not
because
supposed to.
I again, super anxious person, so like watching dramas and thrillers a lot of the times is difficult for me to do because I just anxiety scream through the whole thing and just stop watching it. There's no way that Jim Gordon's gonna die, so I can be okay. It's like, yeah, whatever, there are no stakes.
They're marketing this not to, great TV, but to things that,
Look at these
kids
Batman
can
villains.
sit
It's
around
in
and
this
watch.
goddamn book of 1,001 TV shows you must watch before you die. It's
Exactly.
saying,
For
don't,
many
Doesn't really say it's good.
Exactly.
don't you dare say,
Like
don't you
last
dare
week.
die before watching Gotham. I hate this fucking show.
That's
Ben McKenzie's pretty good in it. All right. Yeah, 0.5 Hinge.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't get to compare this to The Incredible Hulk because we didn't have time, which I think is a very strong comparison, so I'll give it the same rating. I believe I gave The Incredible Hulk, which was 1. 1 Hinge.
It's not great, but I think that you said Ben McKenzie, he really sells it. I think
does.
really
Which one is
well.
he?
So
It's
it's
Gordon.
Yeah, God, he is so dreamy. Can we talk about that for a little bit?
He is
No,
really
no,
Brad Talk.
no.
So attractive.
So he sells it really well, and
He does.
So
And his
that's what
partner
makes
is
it.
awesome.
Donald
That's-
Love.
God, he is awesome. I think he
Hey,
killed
hey,
the parents.
Guys,
I don't know
Adam's
why.
wrapping up.
That's what makes it watchable. Is what I'm saying. Is Ben McKenzie. So I'm going to give it a 2.
Okay. Lee.
I'm gonna give it a 3. I will definitely finish it. I will watch it when it's on Netflix and I have nothing else to watch.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3.5. I like it.
All right, everyone.
No, but I like it.
Everyone who gave the show above 2.5 is fired, so they're not going to be on the show next week.
Woo!
Explain that to the gods.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, he probably won't either.
All right, so that is Gotham. Season 1 is currently on Netflix. Season 2 is currently on Fox. If there's any justice in this world, it'll be canceled.
But I like it.
I don't care. It's because this is weird because this is only the second show that we've reviewed that is currently on the air. Arne Dahl was on the air, but after season 2, which finished airing by the time we recorded it, it's not implying there's going to be any more seasons of it. So this is a show that's on the list. Does that mean I have to keep watching this show until it's over?
I don't know. If only there was someone we could ask.
He doesn't just like make house calls. He doesn't like do that kind of thing.
He should be listening. Piece of shit.
It's
the
that
intern.
time again.
Hey, intern.
Yeah.
Hi, intern.
Happy 13th episode, idiots.
Woo!
We're not idiots.
You.
Yeah, you know what my
It's a
favorite
great
thing?
number.
Do you know what my favorite thing about this episode is? Is that everyone forgot about Pedro.
Yeah. Well, you're a piece of shit.
Your
No one
mom
likes
is a
you.
piece of shit. Your dad
Whoa.
is a piece of shit.
Whoa, I feel like this is getting harsh.
You know, but I mean...
At least I have a mom, you fucking... Whatever thing that's not even human.
Right, okay.
Do you
That-
even have families
No.
in your godland, or are you just spawned out of magic and rainbows?
Yeah, I just am.
At least
I
I
don't-
can blow things up. I just go over to the next door and I buy dynamite. I don't need explosion powers, which you apparently don't even have yet. Ooh.
Oh, boy.
Piece of shit.
Oh, Pedro.
Oh.
Every argument...
You
that
have all this power in the world and you're still just an intern?
Pedro, every time you argue, you're arguing for the side that you're arguing against. Does that make any sense to your small brain?
It doesn't have to, because
Actually,
I'm
I
a
didn't
human.
get that.
Yeah, that
Like,
didn't make any sense.
I die.
Everything that you say is an argument for the point that you're not trying to make. The opposite.
Likes
point.
you either.
Oh, you are too much fun in the worst possible way.
Ha! You do enjoy.
So your last bonus episode is coming up, I hear.
Yeah, what the hell, asshole? You changed the thing, now I have to sit here and do 3 more things, 3 more pieces of work.
That's right.
What? Fuck you. Go work on your lightning powers.
You say, see, you're saying it again because you think that I care about what you think about me, so you're actually arguing my point.
Oh, I know
Because-
you want those explosion powers.
I mean, lightning powers are
What
pretty
makes
cool.
you think
They're
I...
cool.
Yeah, I do
They're
have
pretty
lightning
cool.
powers.
Yeah,
and
they are pretty cool, and he
lightning
doesn't have
can
them.
cause fire.
He's like a castrated god.
What's
Oh,
happening?
I can't even... Pedro, I can't even talk to you. You're not even saying things that make sense.
Yeah, it'd be cool if I could make sense, but you're a god.
Intern, this might be out of my purview here, but he liked Gotham. Did you hear that?
I did hear that. Nothing. Just, you don't make sense. I don't understand.
You're a god. Why are you
how
wasting
you're a
time
person.
watching the show of the mortals?
I'm not
I
watching the
have
show.
better things to do.
No. I just set my alarm for around this time every
You have
night.
to wake up. You have to sleep as a god. What the hell kind of god needs to sleep?
I didn't say I needed to sleep. That's
Well, you
exactly
said
what
your
I'm
alarm to
saying. You're
wake
not
up.
arguing
Waking up
a
from.
point at all.
This is getting uncomfortable for all of us. Enter, do you have another number for
Yes,
us?
I do have another number. I just want to never talk to you guys again.
Good.
Oh, but you're going to do this for the next 20 years.
Yup.
Okay, all right. Your next number is 856. I'm out. Fuck you, Pedro. No one likes you.
Fuck you.
800 and what?
56. I believe he said.
No, I don't care anymore.
856? Is that what you
Yeah.
said?
I just do a different number. Fuck him.
Let's see. 856. Ooh, the food is chocolate.
No, it's not.
Ooh,
Wait,
chocolate.
that's it? Just chocolate?
It's ganache.
No, it's not.
It's
No,
not?
I'm bad at numbers.
And reading.
And reading. Wait, which is it? Oh, it's kavring. A Swedish bread. That's a dark rye bread.
Didn't we already do a Swedish bread, or was that
Yes,
Finnish?
We did already do
The
a Swedish
Easter bread.
That was good sounding.
We did a Swede bread, and this one's just going to be Swedish.
No.
Boo. The movie is 32 short films by Clint Gould.
How? That sounds like it's gonna be long.
It's actually like 90 minutes.
Oh, okay. So they are actually short films.
They are. It's
Okay.
filmed from the 90s. I think it's 90 minutes. It's not that long. It's reasonable.
Okay.
Wow, my song is what? 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, by LL Cool J.
LL Cool J, but featuring
Eh.
Method Man, Redman, Cannibus. Let me try that again. Method Man, Redman, Cannabis, and DMX.
Remember when
Got
Method
it.
Man and Redman had a TV show, guys?
Remember when Pedro had to say cannabis?
Yeah.
Cannabis.
He was using his phonics.
Yeah,
Lee,
I
what are you
forget
listening to?
sometimes.
I have New Forms by Ronnie Size / Represent.
The book is going to be Julie of the Wolves by Gene Craighead George.
Ooh. And the TV
Catching.
show is Parenthood.
Yay.
So
Ooh.
that's what we're recording next week on episode 14, which will come out on Thursday. But next Monday, we have our final bonus episode where we're going to finally wrap up all the songs that Pedro needs to catch up on. So, Pedro, why don't you say what those 3 songs will be?
Yeah, there are things. Hold on. Okay, I've got Allons à Lafayette by Joe and Cleoma Falcon. If that's right, that's weird. Okay, It's Like That by Run DMC, and Tomorrow Never Knows by The Beatles.
So that will come out on Monday, and we'll hope to all catch you all next time. In the meantime, please leave us a review on iTunes. If you do that, Pedro will give you a 15-second sincere compliment.
I keep forgetting about that.
Don't worry about it. And also, you can email us all your thoughts on today's episode and all previous episodes at theimmortalspodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter, where we typically tweet out links and also pictures of things we review. You can find that at the Immortals Pod on Twitter. And really, thank you all so much for listening. My name is Austin.
I'm Adam.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Lee.
I'm Pedro.
Catch you all next time. Bye.